Hey everyone, in past videos I've done shown you how to fix the flusher on the toilet, and that one's pretty easy. Basically all you have to do is unscrew the old one and put a new one on. So you take your lid off. Be careful with it because a lot of times they can easily crack because they're porcelain. Basically there's a threaded screw on here, and it actually threads the opposite, the reverse thread. And then, slide this thing in through here this way and then turn it. Put your thread on. If it's the taking it off, you take it off. Pull it out, the same thing. And then if you attach the little hook here and then down to the flapper, which is down there. And that allows you to flush. What's going wrong with our toilet bowl here right now is that for whatever reason, this guy here is failing to allow water to come back up. Not really sure why that is. It may just be it's old and there's sediment buildup in it. That's going to be my best guess on what that is, or this thing just may have failed. But what I have found out, to test and determine what the problem is, one of the things you can do is shut off the water, which I did, and then I can disconnect the hose down here. And then once I do that, I can then turn on the water. Obviously you want to have a bucket or something to catch the water in, and you can turn on the water and then make sure that the water is actually coming up. And we in fact have that situation that the water is in fact flowing. So it's not a water from the home issue. The water is flowing. It's just getting stuck here, almost as if there's a drain, almost like your garden hose where you turn it to the off position. So water's just not flowing. And I am finding as I disconnect this and put it back on, then water will flow one time, but then that's it. It won't happen again. So what I'm going to do here is just remove this. And I bought myself another toilet fill valve. And I'm going to replace it. This thing only cost me, I don't know, $7, $8, $10 at my local hardware store. So decided to buy one of these and just replace it. I figured that's going to be much easier than, any more effort I'm putting into to try to, fix this one. So first thing we're going to do is take this out of the box and take a quick look at it and go from there. All right, so in the box they give you the hose that goes from the flusher over to fill up the toilet. And then they give you the actual unit here itself. And down below you have threading. And in here you also have your valve things that will hold the threads on the bottom, for lack of the technical term for what it is. So what I'm going to do first is go over here, and I'm going to go under here with my wrench. And once I have my water turned off first and I disconnected my hose, then I'm just going to loosen up and remove this thread right here, this holder. So let's do that real quick. So make sure you have a bucket or something to catch the water. But essentially, like I say, you're going to remove this plastic tubing here. I'm sorry, this plastic nut right there. And that turns that way. So I'm turning my hand, see if you can see it, like that, to remove it. And that's going to drain the rest of the water out. I mean, if you have a sponge or something else, you can drain the water out that way. Go ahead and drain that out. Once I got this washer off the bottom, this piece just popped right out. So I was just able to lift it right up out of the hole. And that's good to go. So I'll put my old part aside. I don't really know the first thing about how to fix it, so I'm just going to leave that there. The next thing I'm going to do is take my new unit, and I'm going to put that over here for the moment. So in this packet is this little rubber gasket, and you're going to want to use this. You're going to want to face the lip downward and put the unit on top of it. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So now that I've just put that rubber gasket on here, I'm just going to lightly position this down into the hole there in the corner. Okay, so that's going to sit there for the moment. There is the ability to adjust this height here by holding the top with one hand, the bottom all the way at the bottom with the other hand, and twisting it left or right, clockwise or counterclockwise. Once that's done, you're going to come down under here, and you're going to take your white locking nut here, put this around here, and just thread that all the way in. Definitely have an adjustable wrench or some other kind of wrench to definitely make it snug so that it'll be in there tight. And before you tie it down completely, you're going to want to make sure that you have this facing the right angle. So this guy here is going to face this way so that your hose tube right here will be able to go over to here. So you wouldn't want this turned around the other way or in the wrong place. So make sure this is facing in the correct direction that you want it to be. And then you can go ahead and crank this down all the way. Once you have that on there nice and snug, make sure you put your pipe back on here, keeping your water still turned in the off position. So we'll put this guy on here next. Now the next thing that you're going to do here is take this water hose filler, okay, and you're going to take this thing and put it on to here. Now, in my mind, because of the way my flapper here is, I don't think I really need this. So I'm not going to use this piece. I can just put the hose down into this tube that's already there. This would be for if there isn't a such thing to allow the water to just go, the hose to attach to something to go down in this hole. So as a placeholder for it. I'm perfectly happy with the one I have there. So I'm just going to put this aside. But, you know, if you think otherwise, go ahead and comment in the section below. Now I'm just going to attach my hose to here and there. So when you're attaching the hose here, and again, I'm trying to do this all with one hand, so that's why I'm stopping and starting the phone, but just twist it. Twist and push to get it on there snug. And then on this side, I'm just going to push my tube down a slight bit into this hole. And that should be all set. So now what I'm going to do is go to the water and turn it on, but keeping an eye out in case there's a leak. And if I've done it right, there won't be any leaks. And the toilet is now filling. So the last thing you would need to do is just adjust the height of where the water would be. And that's it. That's the entire setup. So let me know if you have any thoughts, comments, or tips or tricks related to this. But, you know, I hope this was helpful. And, you know, definitely if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. And ask any questions. I answer every question that people send me. So thanks again for watching this. And we'll see you in the next video. I'll just let it run for a second until you see where the water actually fills up to. So that's my water fill height right there, which is perfect. I don't really want it to go any higher than that. I don't need a ton of water. This has served me well in the past and looks good. So again, thanks so much for watching.